think in certain sports things just come naturally to you. You just pick up on it. I love competing and showing people what I can do. It's the adrenaline you get after competing and whilst you're competing. It's just a great way to express yourself in something that you love. My favourite thing about gymnastics altogether is standing on the podium if you've achieved. This year I have trials for the Junior European Championships.
Abby's an extremely talented gymnast with a big desire, and the problems that she's had this year is that her body is just growing up.
The level's quite high, I think. As long as my injuries recover well and that, and get into my routines and show them what I've got, then hopefully. I'm part of the Junior GB national squad. I think from a very young age I was always active. I went to ballet classes when I was younger and they were just too slow for me, and I needed to do something a bit more exciting, a bit more adrenaline, so my parents decided gymnastics might do something for me.
She was just basically wearing us out, wasn't she? So I thought the best thing to do is to put that energy into something. She was there at a preschool at 3.5 doing toddler gym, and then she went on to do gym after school, and she proved to be quite good at the gym.
We discovered that Liverpool had an elite club.
67.2, City of Liverpool!
So we just thought we'd take her down for a trial and she got accepted.
Beth Tweddle and Jenny Pinchers are also part of the senior British national squad. I think because Beth, as well as being world champion so many times, it definitely motivates me to watch them train.
We're very fortunate, aren't we, for Abby to be able to train with someone who's just absolutely led the way for British gymnastics.
My biggest dream is to get to the Olympics, and definitely aiming for the 2016 Olympics in Rio. My favourite piece in gymnastics is beam, basically because I think I have more of a natural ability to do it than others. The hardest thing about beam is that it's quite high off the ground and it's thin. It's only 10 centimetres wide, so sometimes it can be a bit scary to do high level elements.
I think there's doing gym, and then there's being able to cope, at high level competition end as well. And I think she's managed to, seems to have managed that well, doesn't she? That's another thing when she gets to these big arenas and things.
At first I just started with recreational gymnastics and then moved on to elite and then international competitions now. Last year, my most recent one was the Commonwealth in the Isle of Man, and before that there was the British and also the Youth Olympics in Turkey. If you ever have anyone that comes to my house, normally they come in and see the wall of trophies and medals. They seem quite amazed sometimes. I don't think they realise when I said I did gymnastics the level I was at, and they normally come in and tend to count them. My best medals were probably in the Commonwealth, that was a good achievement. I took 4 medals away from that Commonwealth. I got 2 golds and 2 bronze. This year I've got trials for European, so there'll be a couple of maybe odd internationals, and just in Lilleshall where the squads are based. We'll do the trials against other GB gymnasts, and then they'll pick a team to go to Youth Europeans. There's 4 trials, 1 has passed which I couldn't do unfortunately because of my back.
Straight after New Year, early January, she'd just come in one night and said her back was hurting, and it's very common with them to get niggles and aches and pains, so you sort of think, I'll give you some paracetamol, get to bed early. And then the next day she still said she was bad. I said, well, just go into gym and maybe when you've warmed up you'll be fine. Got a phone call off Claire, her coach, and said, I'm not happy with this, it's a back injury, let's get it sorted. So obviously she'd actually ended up having to see a doctor and having an X-ray and MRI scan, and it was just vertebrae, fractures. So obviously training stopped.
Yeah, it can be worrying, sometimes you can just think of the worst, it could be the end of your career, it just crosses your mind, you don't know how bad it's going to be, and then sometimes you know it's nothing, but you've just got to get it checked. The recovery process is just like a lot of it being just total rest, which was a bit hard because I wasn't able to do my work, and I'd seen other people progressing, and I've just had to sit and watch.
I think that can be quite hard on her because obviously she knows she's got such big events coming up, and she's having to like work through it and keep her fitness level up as well. So obviously when everything's gone back to normal, she can start training, she's ready to go.
Well, she's desperate to do the
Europeans.
The Europeans.
Yeah, I think I'll have a shot at going to Youth Europeans if I show them my routines and do well in all the trials, and hopefully I'll be able to go. I think I do miss a little bit of like family time. We always like treasure the family time we do get. Yeah, I think I value my parents a bit more than others maybe, because I know they've done so much for me, like travelling me up and down the gym all the time. I'd like to thank them a lot.
The kids are growing up, you know, and Abby, you know, she started gym when she was 7 and like she's 14 and it's gone so fast.
I also have my little brother, Dan, and he does rock climbing.
But normally we get on like really well, and we're quite close as brother and sister. I've been once before to watch Dan do his climbing. It looks a bit scary to me, and I wouldn't want to be in his position climbing up the walls, and you just drop off onto these mats. Yeah.
What Abby does in the gym is like a hell of a lot load more than a normal like average child. Like she does like an average school day, and then she comes into the gym and trains for like a further 4 hours, where the concentration level is stronger than what she does in school.
Gymnastics is like mentally challenging sometimes because you've got to concentrate on so many different things. Like it's not just one piece that you're concentrating on, there's all 4, and when you're on that piece you've got to concentrate on so many moves on one particular apparatus. I think bars is like my weakest piece, so I find it quite hard sometimes to learn new elements. The constant training is hard, having to like repeat your skills, and you can get stressed over little things that don't matter and you know you can do. Leading up to competition time, it can get worse. When you're tired, you really need to concentrate most.
She's meant to have 4 trials to make the selection for the Euros. I think it's been hard. We've had odd injuries which you can work around, but to have so many injuries one after another, I think it has been really getting her down, and she's been thinking herself possibly, you know, oh, my chances might be getting reduced because her fitness levels are dropping all the time. She's not training, and also, you know, the new moves that she wanted to go out and have for European, she's not been able to work on them.
At the moment we're at Lilleshall National Sports Centre. When we do the British, they pick a selection of girls that will in the next year go on to do that squad, and there's around about 15 to 20 of us that are picked. Yeah, all the juniors and the seniors are here because we're all trialling for the junior Europeans and the normal senior Europeans. I think when there's only 5 places, you can feel the pressure a little bit.
You know that everybody worked hard. You know that some of them, and especially for the last places, they are so close together.
Even though we're like really good friends, all of us, when it gets to competition, you've got to sort of block them out and concentrate on just you and try and do as best you can.
At the end of the day, the number is limited, let's say for Europeans 5, so you cannot take 6.
She probably is under a little bit of pressure because she's coming from behind now.
Hopefully there's enough time for her to prove herself.
Basically, like, I've not made it into the youth Euro team because I've been injured all this year. I sort of prepared myself because I knew there was a possibility that I wasn't really going to make it because I haven't done enough trials, and the trials I have done, I've had to water down some of my moves. So I prepared myself, but I was still really disappointed when it was officially announced.
Last British Championship, she was third in the country. Without me saying it and without anybody else saying to her, she expected to be in that team. And I think because she's been so successful last year with like Youth Commonwealth and Youth Olympics, it's kind of like, of course she's going to be there. Yesterday she was really good.
Selection is a way to protect, not a way to discriminate. So give those who can what they can carry and avoid to give those who can't the load.
Her body isn't ready at this moment in time, and like I've explained to her, that's just part of life. I think one of the biggest things for her is the fact that like Beth's injured, and her speaking to Beth all the time. Like I'm like, Abby, you're sore, but Beth's got the Olympic Games in like 12 weeks or less. Yesterday, Abby went from being heartbroken to a 5-minute chat with Beth to, okay, my body's sore, I haven't made this team, but I'll be there next time.
Beth didn't make it to the Euros, so I can imagine like it'd be the same feeling for both of us, like we're really gutted that we didn't make it. But having her not make it as well sort of helped me through it in a way, knowing that she's had like massive success in her career. Next year I'll become senior hopefully. I'm aiming for Worlds, so I'll be eligible for that next year. Not making it makes me want to prove what I can do, and so they can see what they've missed out.